what it is also a lack of structure because I can structure that in my time, like in my Google Calendar, like this hour, spend time to,
Post, yeah.
strategize, post and strategize with these clips. Because, like when you don't have a strategy or when you're not structured with your time, obviously, you know that it's like everything is everywhere and you just feel overwhelmed, like, oh, that's going to take
Yeah,
way too long. When in reality, it's
exactly.
only 20 minutes. But in your head, you're already thinking of multiple other things and it's like, I'd rather just not do it because it's gonna take too long, and you screw yourself right then and there. It's more the lack of scheduling it, being organized. Like, all right, this is what you need to do, Andrew, because this is what's gonna help you get to that next level. Because this, and I said this in the podcast too, like the being the wild card and being like the carefree guy, like yeah, I'm the creative and I don't need to be structured. I don't need to have any boundaries on me. Like I at least used to think like that in my head because it's like you can't schedule being creative and you can't control that. It's like that only got me this far. And it's going to be a slow growth to get to the next step. But in order for me to really like get to that next step, like I need to be structured and organized to
Yeah,
like
I feel you. I
like
feel like that's the biggest struggle I have is that organization. Like I've been using like a Google Calendar to help me out, but I probably need to like actually almost do like what I did for college because I really loved school. By the way, I was kind of a nerd, and I found like school very like fun in the sense that like I knew what to expect. I knew I had to be at this class at this time. So there was like a lot of structure. I think that it brought me that was very peaceful.
mhm.
But being on my own and not having someone set that structure up, it's been tough. Like you're right. Like you start getting in your own head, or you start overthinking. Like like I have all these things I need to get due, so you don't even get any of them started.
Yep.
So that's definitely like been a challenge, but I've been working on it. Um, yeah, I wish I had better advice. I just need to like you said, I think I just need to use like a Google. I need to use the Google Calendar a little more. Like actually start blocking out time for things. I
And
recently
go on,
read
go on,
a
go on.
LinkedIn post about that. So
And the one person who knows how to do that is Mateo. Mateo wakes up and freaking looks at that thing, bro. Like this guy is
he's funny, man.
he knows what the hell to do when he wakes up. Like this is my schedule.
Hmm.
So like I pick his brain on it, and like I just try to follow when it comes to like time management and productivity. Like, so how do you go about it, Mateo? Well, I do this and that, and it's like, man, that's crazy.
But I love it. Like I've been doing all my meetings are in Google Calendars, which has helped. But I think I need to start like actually setting time aside for like let's say script writing for the YouTube videos or script or researching, because then otherwise I just end up doing it like randomly when I quote unquote feel like it,
Yeah,
and I just feel like that's not sustainable or like practical long term.
I think what it is, I can speak for myself, is like
Mm-hmm.
on our Google calendars, we look at like the big stuff, like, okay, here's the shoot, here's the meeting, here's the Zoom call, here's blah, blah, blah. And then we have like extra time. It's like, oh, between that extra time, that's when I can do it. And then it's like, we don't even do it on that free time. We think like, oh, that's free time. But
Mm-hmm.
like that same mentality that we're having with all these big stuff is the same mentality we need to do with the little things. Because then once we start doing the little things and putting it in the calendar, that's when we start like living and dying by it. Like, oh, it is in my calendar. Okay, let's do that. Because since it's not, it's like out of sight, out of mind. Like, oh, I have this
Exactly.
gap. I have this gap period when I can do whatever I want, go eat or go make TikToks or something else. It could have been structured. Not, how would you say it? Like you're not like
Like
so
every minute.
disciplined. Yeah, like every single
Yeah.
minute. But it's like okay, like somewhat of structure. Like okay, like let's do it here. Let me, it's baby steps. But I'm starting to realize like definitely like that same mentality that we need to have like with these big stuff that we're putting on a calendar is the same mentality that we need to have when it comes to like these little micro research stuff or whatever it is, like put it on the calendar.
Yeah. No, I feel you. That's definitely like something I need to actually just start doing because, like you said, all the big stuff is there: meetings, clients, shoots, events that I need to attend, like networking and stuff. But none of the little things, the day to day that I actually need to get done. Although I've been getting better from day to day. I have a few like things in the CRM, like email this person, follow up with that person, send over invoices or whatever. So it's just baby steps, man. We just gotta like commit to it, and then eventually, you gotta grow into it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense why we're excelling in those stuff that we're putting in the calendar, and
Exactly.
that means that once we start putting the little stuff, then we'll start excelling on that, and it's like it's been right in front of our faces, or at least speak for myself. Like, but I'm like, why can't I just do that? And it's like because you never really set time aside. You talk about it, but like that little dopamine that you get talking about it, like that, it just fills you up enough where it's like you mentally think that you did it, but at the end of the day, you go to sleep thinking like, I should have got that done. You end up regretting like all the stuff that you had like a little dopamine hits because you convinced yourself like, oh yeah, we're gonna get it done, and then, or oh, I'll learn that, and then it's like you don't even learn it, and you screw yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah, 100%, man.